Thank you so much. Excellent, there's a clicker, brilliant. So I'm going to start with a nice big number, and that 89%. And 89% is the number of companies that believe their future is going to be fought around customer experience, providing a really, really great customer experience. And that's something that we're all familiar with, because as much as we're all employees of the various companies we're representing, we're all consumers. And we're all used to, or get used to, the last great experience that we had online. And that's where we set the bar and where we judge any kind of shopping experience. And whether the shops that we shop at or the services that we use, we always hark back to how good it should be, and always benchmarking against how good it should be. And if we put the customer quite rightly kind of in the middle of the experiences that we're trying to deliver, and we can get some idea of what those customer expectations are today. So for choice and availability, and that's 36% of customers in recent studies cited choice and availability, having the range available to them, as one of the most important metrics when they're deciding where to go and where to shop. And so there's a complexity for retailers about for where they might have had smaller stores with limited stock, or maybe they're only putting a certain amount of their stock online. The customer expectation is that everything you sell will be available to me in whichever channel that I choose to shop at. Of course, they're not talking about channels, they're just talking about shopping with you. The next thing is convenience, and this is the number one reason shoppers shop online today. 85% of UK adults own a smartphone, so they're taking that intelligence, the accessibility, the ease of use, and they're walking into your stores with that supercomputer in their pocket, and that's 85%. For the younger demographic, 16 to 34-year-olds, that's actually 94%, and those are smartphones that those people have access to, and they're using it, and when they're interacting with your brand, they'll be making the same assumptions. It's just like they're used to on their phone. And speed of delivery, principally. So 64% of customers expect that an order placed before 5 p.m. is going to be delivered the next day. There's actually a lower, very surprising 60% of customers that expect if it's ordered before 12 that it'll be delivered same day. So that's where the customer expectation has just been pulled along by some of the bigger players out in the market. So where we start to have a look about all those different parts of the customer experience and what their expectations are set at. And they want inspiration, they want a site to know what it's talking about. They want the selection, they want the pricing, they want to be able to get it fast. They want to be able to do a lot themselves. They want it to be an easy experience to do, and they want it to be relevant to whichever channel they're doing. So a great mobile experience, a great in-store experience, a great desktop experience, a great whatever's coming in the future type of experience. And we break this down into these two halves. This kind of transaction-centered bit, which is kind of the bottom line in terms of what most stores are delivering and what people have been focusing on to date. We're kind of moving people up a level, talking about this experience-driven commerce. So really adding the value, adding the content, the experience, the creativity to really talk about your brand authority, your brand values, and actually getting those through to the customers. Because when the customer's making a decision about where they're going to actually shop or buy the object that they can sell, these things will just be a given. They will get it quickly, they'll have the full range available, it'll be competitively priced. And so how do you add that value over and above what they're going to be getting from other providers? And this was a really nice breakdown that came from Forrester by Brendan Witcher. So looking at the different capabilities and how they add value, not only to your own business, but add value or add benefits to the experience for the customer. So that is about that inventory visibility. Obviously, it enables you to sell the thing they want to buy. For the customer, it's exposure to all products. Buy online, pick up in store. So you're getting that high quality store traffic that's already kind of engaged in buying, an opportunity there to sell cross-sells and upsells for them. For the customer, it's obviously a quicker experience, and some customers just prefer that. Ship to store, being able to reduce delivery costs, where you're still perhaps supplementing some of those excellent delivery options. But for the customer, it means that they can get some of the larger items they might prefer just to go and pick it up from the store. from being able to sell through from aging inventory, directly from stores, but for the customer that might mean faster delivery. So what was maybe a 2 to 3 turnaround before, you can actually get down very fast. Endless aisle means that you can that all those products are available. So if they're building a variant order, they can actually build the whole order. And then the in-store returns means that you can get more chance to repurchase, and there's a higher chance of just doing it in exchange instead of just cashback. And of course, that's more convenient for the customer. And that's those kind of baseline omni-channel capabilities that have been highlighted. But as you kind of future-proofing yourself, where's that going? Where's the customer expectation going around that? So things like reserve and collect. So for customer, that's great because they know that they've got the product, they just have to go in and get it. And probably one of my favorite ways of doing it. Ship to locker, so meaning that for me, I probably get 20 to 50 orders delivered to my work every year from various suppliers, and there's a lot of people that can't do that. So if you work in a hospital, if you work in many organizations, they won't allow you to accept personal deliveries. So being able to ship to a third-party location is very convenient for lots of people. Being able to add to the long tail by getting third-party sellers selling other inventory from other providers as well. Concierge apps, so really improving the customer experience. So when they're walking in with their phone, and they've often got more information than the person serving them, and it enables the person serving them to have exactly the same information in front of them to help them with their choices. Being able to do self-service returns, so actually making it really easy for them to peel off a sticker, register it online, and just send it off, or just peel off the sticker and it's taken care of, and they get everything automatically done. And omni-channel vouchers, and that's being able to use that promotion code either in-store, either in mobile, or wherever the channel that they prefer to use it. So that's that kind of second phase. And so for see a lot of people thinking, well, I've kind of got maybe 3 out of 5 done. I've got some of these done, but it's about being able to take it to that next, elevate it to that next level. And it's a real challenge for a lot of people. So with over 50% of organizations using more than 21 digital marketing solutions to try and build this customer experience, be able to try and build this capability, it's a real challenge because it means you're having to deal with multiple suppliers, you're having to have all those weekly calls, kind of track those things, actually not only originally integrate those solutions, but then maintain and manage that integration going forwards, which, as you know, is one of the bigger headaches. So Darragh will talk more about this, but when Eason came to us, what they really liked about Episerver was the fact that they're going to get a commerce, they're going to get the CMS to drive that experience capability, they're going to have personalization, campaign management, be able to orchestrate campaigns and have analytics to be able to interrogate that data and understand more of the value, and all of that within the cloud. So on the commerce side, being able to manage their catalog, being able to manage orders and customers, a really effective site search. On the content side, being able to drive A/B tests from the single platform, being able to personalize either manually or using AI to personalize, being able to build workflows around projects, about signing off and things. For the personalization side, product recommendations, again, using the same underlying data that's driving everything else on the store to actually deliver the product recommendations, being able to recommend content that goes maybe alongside a particular product as well. Triggers as well that are firing out to different systems. Maybe it's to the contact center, maybe it's to the email service provider to send an email. And then actually being able to analyze all this data within the customer data platform to drive, to have a single view of the customer, but then also to be able to drive where's the opportunity within this, and using the AI to actually uncover some of those big opportunities. So that's enough for me for the time being. I'll introduce Darragh, who's going to come up and tell you about Eason specifically and their digital transformation journey with Episerver. Darragh. Click here. I'll just hang around up here.
Yeah, cool, okay. Firstly, hello everybody. I'm going to start by just giving you a brief intro into Eason. I'm sure it might not necessarily be the most familiar brand for most people in the room. Eason is Ireland's premier book retailer. as a company, we're around a little while, about 200 years or so. As a couple of the slides I'll show you in a while, our IT stack resembles a 200-year-old company as well. And that led to a lot of the challenges that we're kind of facing, and I suppose the solutions we had to come to with Epi and with our partner Made to Engage. So our process started around 2016 when we had to develop a plan, I suppose, as to how we were going to transform the business. We looked at that, instead of thinking around digital transformation, it was business transformation. So we started along that path, and I suppose the first thing we did was set across cross-functional teams and workshops to try and come up with, well, I suppose, what is this for Eason? So what we kind of came up with was our guiding principles. So what we wanted to achieve, to be able to personalize and connect with our customers, to be a book-led website. Ultimately, that's what we are. We're a book retailer. We do sell other products. We sell gifts and souvenirs and everything else, but our goal has always been to be book-led. And to that end, what we wanted to be able to do was utilize our experience and our expertise as a book retailer. It's something that you'll experience if you walk into one of our stores, but it's something that's very difficult, I suppose, to put across online and to, I suppose, showcase that expertise. The in-store experience, well, we wanted to be able to deliver things like click and collect effectively. The ability to differentiate. So again, back to that point, well, what is Eason? Eason's a book retailer. It's somewhere where you can go in, browse our store, and that's the type of atmosphere we have in our stores. We wanted to bring that across to online as well. And of course, like any business, to deliver revenue. So we wanted to be able to increase our turnover, both in store through driving better footfall through our stores, and obviously online where we've been slowly migrating some of our customers to online, and obviously dealing with the large competitors that we have in the form of, I suppose, well, Amazon primarily. So our starting point with a lot of this was that we conducted some surveys. We actually started with a little market research. So what we found was that our consumers were already using Omnichannel. They expected, in fact. So they expected to be able to order products online, collect them in store. They expected to be able to avail of in-store returns for online orders. All the Omnichannel features that you would expect to have delivered. Our customers were already expecting these. So we were really already behind. What we found is actually that retailers are really benchmarked on their omnichannel services now. It's definitely an expectation. So the key thing that we found out through this the research was that click and collect was a key feature that we weren't offering properly to our customers and that they wanted. Consumers are willing to engage with us digitally, especially with trusted brands like our own. Again, in Ireland, we've over 60 stores across the north and the Republic, so we're a recognised brand. So we also went out to our own customers and found that 80% of Eason customers had already shopped online. So, you know, they've already migrated to online. We maybe weren't getting that share though. Half had actually used click and collect. So what we found from that was that 70% more likely to buy from Eason if we had a robust click and collect service. So I suppose that made it clear to us what was the kind of the thing we really needed to go after. All right. So, all right. The first thing we really wanted to do was improve that customer experience. So I suppose that as the stats would show, click and collect, that was the key thing people wanted to see. So that was the first thing we went after to deliver. We obviously wanted to grow the business, and a key to this and central to the whole thing was creating a single view of the customer. And we'll touch on how that was achieved. So the benefits of Omnichannel, and Joey's touched on some of it already. So to provide customers with the services they now expect. A single view of the products and promotions to ensure increased online range, and that was a key thing for us. We didn't offer all of our products online. It was a subset of the range that we carried in our stores. Online promoting store network through click and collect opportunity, and I suppose one of the key challenges most e-commerce, or certainly pure play e-commerce retailers have is upsell. It's difficult. But if you can get them into one of your stores where a store associate can actually speak to them, there's an increased opportunity there for upsell. So a single view of the customer then, also key to this. We're kind of trying to achieve that now through integration with CRM. Improve customer experience and driving sales through higher conversion rates. It's something that we've done really well since we've launched with Episerver. Conversion rates have increased by in or around 40% year on year, so something we're really, really happy with. and the opportunity to recruit more customers who are receptive to digital comms, and that's really us using the suite of tools that Episerver offers. So what were the business priorities? And as I explained, we really do have to lean on cross-functional teams. So that's where we started out, and it was with that cross-functional and co-created atmosphere. So as you can see there, we've got kind of IT, which obviously the technical lead on the project. You have trading, who are looking after pricing and range, and then the marketing team, which is where I sit myself, looking after loyalty, CRM, digital marketing, customer experience. Above all that, then, what we want to do is have our omnichannel services and CRM, with a goal basically to driving a destination experience shopping, or shopping experience, I should say, which is what we wanted to achieve. We're not in the market of discounting or dealing with Amazon or Book Depository or these guys who are discounters. That's not what we're trying to do at all. So the deliverables from the project, or program as we really refer to it. So omnichannel digital marketing, really a key, or omnichannel marketing is probably a key part of it. The optimum customer experience for web and mobile, live stock visibility was an absolute must. To be able to pay online and click and pick up in store, to reserve online and collect in store. Continuing on then with the purchase path, to pay in store, deliver to home or store. Enhanced payment options, be that PayPal or Apple Pay. Convenient delivery options, so we want to be able to offer as wide a choice there as possible. Electronic or printed receipts, and obviously that had the side benefit for us there is obviously that's an opportunity to enroll customers in and make repeat purchasers. Omnichannel customer service, and again, this is a challenge I'm sure anybody who's doing online and in-store is the ability to look up orders, for example, at the point of sale, online orders, so that really allows us to drive far better customer experience. Omnichannel returns, there's a cost benefit there for us, for the business. There's also a far greater customer experience if a customer isn't arriving into your store and being told, okay, well, you need to post that back to this address. They expect to be able to walk into our stores and return their orders and quickly get either a replacement or a refund. So I briefly mentioned the IT architecture and the stack that we've been dealing with. So this is just a brief, I suppose, timeline of where we were at starting in 2016. So you can see a relatively complex setup there. And you can see the two green pieces there, which is what we were really trying to build on, which was AX as our ERP, or Dynamics AX, and the master data that sat within it. And as you can see there, there's multiple. We were a wholesaler. We have a school shop. We have the Easons.com website. We had a CMS sitting on top of that. We had a wholesale web shop. You can see it all there anyway. There's a very complex set of systems that I'm sure most people are well used to, don't often speak to each other so well. So after 2017, we took on the project of basically migrating to one instance of AX. That was the first kind of task that we knew we needed to tackle before we were actually able to think of ourselves as any sort of omnichannel retailer. Last year was the major project in which we really started working with the guys at Epi, and this is when we delivered the CMS and the web shop and the Episerver cloud to drive our online. This year you can see what the kind of add-on to all of this is CRM, which we're going with Dynamics 365. So that's our next step. Something we're actually quite close to delivering on now. Into the future, obviously, there's a plan of, I suppose, handling the Northern Irish market. At the moment, we just sell into Northern Ireland in euros, which isn't ideal for those customers. Doesn't offer the best customer experience. So we want to be able to obviously tackle that and be able to go multi-currency, multi-region as well. So there's a brief map, I suppose, of the system integrations that are going on here and how much more simplified this is versus what we were dealing with back in 2016 when we had over 20 systems. And I think that's something that Joey referenced, was that a lot of these companies use maybe over 21 services in order to deliver the type of thing we're doing here. Really what we have, and certainly from my perspective as the e-commerce manager, I almost never touch any of the rest of these systems now. Everything is done through Epi. Obviously driven through AX, which is where our master data sits, but really it's two systems to deal with as opposed to logging in and having 21 different account managers and you know, trying to figure out which system talks to the other and which one do we need a manual export from, and so on and so forth. So the vision for the project, and I suppose, or the program, as we said, so we wanted to have actionable customer insights, a customer data view and interaction. So we needed to have personalized marketing. It's something that we were doing through multiple other platforms, but never effectively. So now that we have it all in platform, of course, we can be far more efficient with that. We're utilizing Profile Store for data management, and that's every system talking to each other. That's our CRM, that's our loyalty platform, that's everything tied into one place. So that anytime we need to actually run a report or data mine anything, it's all there in Profile Store. The content management system was obviously an absolute must. That was we needed to have that, and the commerce on top of that too. So that drives the transactional commerce engine now. So the fundamentals, what do we absolutely have to deliver? And bear in mind, the actual development on this project, so we went live this week, actually, last year. So you might think that's a bit of a crazy time to go live as well in the lead up to Black Friday for an e-commerce website. But we had to deliver in 6 months. That was the challenge. So obviously you would like to have everything, but we decided that these were the core things we absolutely had to have. You couldn't go live without these things, and that's how the project was delivered in 6 months. So I suppose live stock, absolute must. Couldn't go live without it. Pricing driven out of our master data from AX. Promotions, again, driven directly from the same system we use in store. So if we set up a promotion for our stores, that same promotion works online. We don't need to duplicate the effort in any way, shape, or form. Click and collect, again, an absolute must for us. It was one of the core driving reasons that we embarked on this project to begin with. Loyalty, well, we've got a loyalty platform, so we wanted our customers to be able to utilize those loyalty points, be able to spend them online, to be able to actually earn them online as well. So that was a core thing we had to go with. And of course, gift cards, omnichannel gift cards, vouchers, you know, extremely important to us. We had a system previously where we had an online gift card and an in-store gift card, and you couldn't spend either across. So this obviously is a step change for us in terms of being able to drive people to actually purchase these gift cards. So how we went about delivering the differentiated experiences that I talked about earlier. So we were able to seamlessly, again, through the Episerver platform, link content and commerce. That's allowed us build kind of very dynamic landing pages, feature product on those pages, update pricing on the fly, not have to worry about building static content. Merchandising, so again, we were able to deal with, and the guys were a great help and made to engage with this. We have some product feeds that come in from BDS. Obviously, you're dealing with a catalog here of 600,000 books, so you're not going to manually merchandise each one of them. So we were reliant on being able to feed that data in. And again, the way it's happened is it comes in through the master data into AX, feeds directly to the web. Nobody needs to touch it. That's images, meta descriptions, absolutely everything. So interest-based recommendations, again, back to that point. With 600,000 products, you can't manually recommend. You can to an extent with your top sellers, but with a catalog that size, you're never going to hit everything. So we really leveraged the AI that we're able to get through Perform and drive those recommendations, and that's, again, had a massive impact. And it's yet another third party we're not dealing with. It's all in platform. Campaigns for local markets, again, I suppose a segmentation piece that we've been really successful using. It was a real win for us last Christmas, particularly, and we're hoping to really push that again this year. Flexible search, as we all know, anyone working with e-commerce knows, you know, search probably drives the majority of the sale on your site when someone lands there. So we've been leveraging Find as a tool there, and we've again found it really much better. We were using, again, another third party on top of our CMS this time last year. So it's been really good, and we've been able to tweak those results ourselves manually as needed. And of course, we've improved the design, the customer experience, and that really was just about us bringing things back to, I suppose, well, 2017 as it was at the time. Our site wasn't responsive at the time, is now. And again, I suppose that we can really see that in the increase in mobile conversion rates, particularly. So the foundations of this, personalized commerce. So integration of dynamics, the real-time availability of stock and promotions, the optimized UX, and the marketing agility that this has given us really have been the drivers. In terms of personalization, product recommendations, we've been utilizing Campaign now for as our email tool, and that's been absolutely excellent. It also lets us actually drop in recommendation blocks into campaigns directly from the CMS. Personalized search, so sitting on top of what we have in Find, which is the search engine, we've also been able to personalize those search results to specific customers if we have browse behavior or purchase behavior from those customers. Click and collect again, another driver that has been key to us, and it's growing week on week as we start to track it. The actionable insights then, so a single view of the customer. This is where we're aiming to get to. I suppose if you look at this as a bit of a roadmap, we're probably halfway through personalization as we currently stand, and what we're going towards now is this kind of actionable insights piece. So dynamic CRM is our next thing. We're hoping to have that ready in November-ish. We may not actually go live with it in November, might not be the best idea. And then a single view of the customer, which again, that's going to tie back into our customer service team. They're again currently using another third-party tool, so we're gonna bring that all back in-house, and I suppose be able to utilize everything that's in Profile Store for those the customer service team, so that they're not flying blind when somebody picks the phone up. They'll be able to see everything, that every touch point that customers had. We'll actually be able to the point of actually being able to see their browse behavior. So in theory, if somebody's got stuck at a part of the site, our customer service team should be able to help them out with that. So just again, back to that system consolidation. This is where we sat in 2016 with all these different platforms. And today, this is what it looks like. So as you can see, commerce, product recommendation, search, email, content, all under Epi. The remaining pieces here, we've customer service, which is still with Salesforce and Dynamics. By the end of this year, we'd hope that will just be Dynamics and synced with Epi. So the remaining last couple of silos that we've got in the platform here, as you can see there's only a handful left where there's no sync, but we're moving towards the end of this year with that really being almost none of those. So the roadmap then for our customer lifecycle, you can see that it probably looks fairly familiar for most e-commerce businesses. From our reach with technical SEO and site hierarchy, the promotion awareness, right down to site search and merchandise receipts, through the attract phase and convert and engage. The engage piece is probably the last segment of this that we're really pushing towards now. I suppose we maybe haven't achieved just yet, but it's the piece that we're building out this year, and we're pretty close to it now. So again, as I opened with, this was all driven by our guiding principles. So to personalize and connect, so well, our campaign landing pages, the UX research and analysis, site-wide behavioral merchandising, personalized recommendations through Perform, customer insights and analysis. To be book-led, so what we've been able to build out using the CMS features we have now is author blogs. So we heavily use influencers in terms of driving traffic to our sites. We're doing that through, I suppose, being able to actually have author recommendations on pages, ratings and reviews. In store, then we're able to do, we're able to run those promotions both in store and online. So there's a consistency there. Again, our click and collect and gift cards have been able to, I suppose, again, give that seamless operation between our retail estate and online. And then from the differentiation point of view, what we're doing is we're driving the My Account section of the site where we're pushing loyalty and specific promos for customers, email segmentation and automation, email optimization and merchandising, which is obviously where we're able to put in things like recommendation carousels in emails and feature birthday emails, things like that are triggered through the system automatically. Split payments was another big part of that this year. We previously could only accept one payment type in a transaction, so that's been another kind of driver in growth of the business for this year. So centering on what we were trying to achieve, that basically for the rest of this year, which is really creating this decentralized customer view, which will be through Dynamics CRM in the end, but all really driven by the patterns that we're picking up through through either email or paid ads or browsing history, through to user-generated content and reviews. But all of this data we're pulling back in so that we can have actionable insights from it. So just a brief look, and actually the site probably looks slightly different to this now, but this is where we were shortly after launch. That's just a quick look at the homepage, recommends carousels. Again, this is part of our reporting that we're able to access now. As you can see, like I suppose since we started there, you can see the increase in average order value and average units per order. So I mean, that's testament to I suppose the results we've seen from re-platforming with Episerver. So just to understand some of those impacts, so the increase in transactions last year on Black Friday, plus 68% and plus 60% in terms of revenue over Black Friday. So plus 36% following the Late Late Show. The Late Late Show in Ireland is kind of, happens once a year. It's a Christmas toy show, but it's a huge driver of interest. And every time it's on, we get massive traffic spikes to the site. So it was really positive, I suppose, and a step change for us was being able to live merchandise the site. As the presenter was talking about product, we were able to move it directly to the homepage instantly. So it was brilliant from that perspective. As you can see, the stats don't really lie here. 39% increase in revenue following the Late Late Show. So that's been a huge thing for us. 54% increase in transactions over the Christmas period. Again, everyone knows if you can perform in peak, the rest of the year will kind of look after itself. And a 49% increase in revenue over the Christmas period. 100% increase in transactions in the January sales. So I guess part of the picture this is painting is also that we were probably getting more and more used to using the platform by this stage. So by the time January sale came around, we really knew what we were doing with it. A 75% increase in revenue over the January sale period. And it's nice to be noticed the odd time by the press. So this story was picked up February there, just after Christmas, 31% increase in web sales over the Christmas period. Other results, of course, the simplified architecture comes with all sorts of advantages, and I'm not the most qualified to tell you about those, but our IT team would certainly swear to that. The direct integration with AX, well, we've got one source of truth now within all of our master data, and that's a huge help. There's if we've to take a product off the site, well, our trading team can do that directly. They don't need to send an email to the e-commerce team to do it. It's hugely empowered our marketing team, and I think the results we spoke about there have really shown that that's the case. The reduction in third-party tools, I really can't stress this enough. The ability to do all this under one roof is it's a huge benefit, and something I think any marketer or e-commerce person or digital marketer would absolutely love to work with. The long-term roadmap for success, that's something we're working with both with Engage and Epi directly. Click and Collect launch was a real shining light for the year. And connecting online and offline through omnichannel voucher usage. And that single view of the customer, which is the last piece of the puzzle we feel, and it's the bit we're kind of really hoping to deliver by the end of this year. Joey, I think you're...
Cool. Thank you very much, Darragh. That's brilliant to hear how much we're able to help a brand. And if you're saying being able to do everything under one roof, they're a great house guest as well in terms of really pushing the technology and pushing us. So just a couple of minutes just to finish off then. It's just one of the benefits of the platform to be able to do that all under one roof, but having an intelligence system helping you so the machine can get on the things that machines are very good at, leaving the humans to get on with things like the creativity and the strategy, the rules and exceptions, and all underlined by that customer data platform that's capturing and then providing that intelligence. And where there's the power in the digital transformation was that blending of the experience and the operational side. So at all times having one eye on both sides, because ultimately they're both highly dependent on delivering that fantastic customer experience. So whether that's using artificial intelligence to intelligently share content, whether that's the web behavior and be able to capture all that, deliver it through the journey, being able to use the analytics so you can share that knowledge across cross-functional teams and understand, see where there's additional opportunities, and being able to scale the operation. So having those intelligent, smart connectors between the operational side and the experience side, which means that as you get those peaks in traffic and sort of opportunities for growth, that you can really leverage all your capability. And Episerver's today doing that for Eason's, but also for Copenhagen airports, and they're enabling them to use the Internet of Things to power a lot of their commerce opportunities around the hundreds of different retailers they have on their sites. For SRAM, who a B2B bicycle parts manufacturer, to actually be able to sell directly to consumer in the US market. And Carpetright, who I know are here today, and just helping them really turn their business into more of a digital-first operation as well. So that's a single platform that drives content, commerce, digital marketing, all with personalization, all in the cloud to make it really efficient. And those efficiencies have obvious, real business benefits for many of the organizations that we work with, but also being recognized by the analysts. So this is an independent report by Forrester recently that is available. So come and chat to one of the team at the stand. We're just in front of the main auditorium area, where we're 443% return on investment, delivered that return on investment in under 6 months, when comparing to the competitors and other players that not only don't they give that same kind of ROI, but you're probably still having to buy in additional tools, buy in a content management system, buy in something to act as an ESP. So the real business benefits as well as all those efficiency gains as well. So I'm not sure that we have time for questions, but do come and speak to us at the stand, and myself and Darragh will be there for time being anyway, so do come and say hello. I'm sorry for going over. There we go.